Malaysia's capital of Kuala Lumpur is seeing a surge in the number of women and children living on its streets during the Muslim fasting month of Ramadan. While authorities believe this is seasonal, with many drawn to the city's heightened public generosity during this time, the problem might be more than what meets the eye.
CNA's Melissa Goh joined a group of volunteers taking part in a program to feed Kuala Lumpur's urban poor.
Midnight in downtown Kuala Lumpur. Volunteers from a local university are taking part in a campaign to feed the urban poor during the Muslim holy month of Ramadan before fasting begins at daybreak. Many did not expect to find this. Children and women clamoring for free food and drinks, and it went on till the wee hours of the morning.
Seeing the number of homeless people out here is quite shocking, but then I believe that with much more volunteer involvement, we can help to reduce and tackle this issue.
Tak sangka, ni first time saya dekat sini, bila saya tengok tu mereka ni berebut-rebut untuk dapatkan makanan. So sangatlah kita tengok bersusah payahnya untuk rupiah harian pun diorang tak mampu.
Now, like the volunteers, I'm shocked by the number of children that are out on the streets in the middle of the night waiting for free food, following their parents who have problem making ends meet because of the rising cost of living.
Kalau kita macam ngam-ngam, memang kita tak turun sini punya. Sebab kita senang turun. Tak ada pilihan lain. Memang tak ada pilihan, kita kat sini saja. Sebab kita kat sini, kita memang tahu kat sini memang ada NGO ramai bagi. So kita kat sini memang kira okey lah sikit. Kita punya beban tu tak adalah berat sangat.
Yana, who's originally from the East Malaysian state of Sabah, has 4 children. The youngest is only 6 months old. Her husband, a factory worker, makes about $400 a month. She says this is not enough to feed the children, let alone put a roof over their heads.
Sebab sekarang kos pun semua sudah mahal kan, susu pampers pun mesti mahal punya. Dengan belanja anak-anak lagi sebulan, sebab memang tak cukup lah.
Yana and the children have been sleeping out on the streets ever since the family was kicked out from their flat because they couldn't afford the rent 2 years ago. The 27-year-old mother says she bathes her children at the nearby mosque and relies on passers-by for food, clothing and other daily essentials. Yana is not alone. A representative from an NGO running a food program for the urban poor says more than 100 women and children have turned up every night for the past month.
I'm just worried that the second generation, third generation or even fourth generation of homeless will be here, because for the children they might see this is the way of lifestyle, this is how I live, you know. So that really worries me a lot.
The CEO of Malaysia's National Welfare Foundation, Cik Asma Ibrahim, is aware of the problem. But she thinks it's seasonal. She says the number of homeless usually spikes during Ramadan.
So there seems to be an increase slightly on number of women and children on the street during Ramadan. People are being extra kind, everybody wants to do good deeds, and that sort of attracts those from outside to come into the city.
She cites a joint study by the KL City Council and the Women, Family and Community Development Ministry, which found that there were close to 1,000 homeless people living on the streets of Kuala Lumpur in April before Ramadan began. She says the number has gone up by 20% since then. Cik Asma says that many acts of kindness on the part of KL residents have contributed to the problem.
We have been putting this campaign that to give wisely and not to create wastage in whatever you want to give. We don't encourage street feeding. You want to feed the homeless, you want to give something, go through the designated places, and we will manage it properly.
But she admits the lack of affordable housing is a major problem for the urban poor. Till this problem is resolved, the streets of Kuala Lumpur are likely to remain home to Yana and her children, where the humming sound of engines has become their lullaby. Melissa Goh, CNA, Kuala Lumpur.